If you know you took Michelle's key, tunakujua.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Hello my people, how are you doing? Welcome here to another vlog. If you're new here, my name is Pet, and if you have not subscribed yet, I mean it for you to subscribe. It is free. You're not billed on anything, so subscribe. Click the subscribe button, click the notification bell that you are notified every time this girl posts a juicy video. So today it is story time, guys, and I want to bring you into my life kidogo, talk about what something that happened when I was in school, actually when I was in high school. From the title, do not judge me, guys. I had to do that. I had to become a thief for me to survive. So this is how it goes. So when I was in high school, from form 3 and form 4, I started stealing from students. Yeah, if I ever stole from you, by the way, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. It wasn't intentional. I had to do that to survive. I had to do that to keep moving. But I never used to steal like money, big things. I just used to steal bread, cake, just food, because I was ever hungry. So, what happened? I never used to get enough money for shopping and for pocket money, or even if I used to get enough money, the first week of school you don't want to go to the dining hall. You're just taking soda, bread from the canteen. Umetoka home, so you don't want to associate yourself with ile ugali ya dining hall. Helens. So yes, so by the end of the first week, I was already broke, like broke, like as broke as a church mouse. I'm a cat. Yeah, something like that. I was always broke. So, and I decided to start business. Yeah, well, I did the business studies, yes, but I decided to put it into action. So, I got some capital from a friend. She gave me 800 shillings. So this 800 shillings was to be used to buy stuff from the canteen. Then I would sell it to students who didn't run to the canteen. Kuna wale maslay queen, they don't want to run to the canteen kusukumana na watu pale kwa laini. So I used to do that for them. So I would go, actually I bought a paper bag, that Kayelo, the very big paper bag that used to go for 40 shillings. So I bought that, and the 800 shillings, I was using it to get stock from the canteen. So by stock, I mean loaves of bread, cake, and crisps. So I used to buy these things in bulk. Then I would come and sell them to students. Now, when you go to the canteen, you'll buy a loaf of bread at 35 shillings. But if I sell it to you, I'll sell it at 40 shillings. So I make a profit of 5 shillings. That's good money. So when business was really, really doing well. But then at some point, people started also stealing from me. I'll go to the canteen, get bread, and someone would steal my bread. So if you steal that bread, you see, I've gone, that is a loss on my end. So you'll find that at the end of the term, I'm into so much debt than the way I started. I would even hide from students because I always had their dates, sujui fair, sujui what, and all that. So at times business was not doing good. You would go to the canteen, get like 30 loaves of bread. At the end of the day, you get 10 or 5 customers. So you have 35 loaves of bread with you, and that is capital that has been I don't know what the term is, but yes, that. So this bread will end up maybe going bad, but you don't want it to go bad. So you take it. So I used to eat the remaining loaves of bread. So I get into more debts. By the end of the term, by the end of the week, I'm into so much debt. I have not paid the capital that someone gave me, so things were really tough for me. So I decided, this business is not doing well. So I dropped the business and I decided I'll be going to the canteen for the students who wouldn't run to the canteen. I was so tiny, so it was easy for me to maneuver and run around. So the students will send me, they'll give me money, I go buy for them stuff, then they'll pay me either 5 shillings, the other that will give you 10 shillings, some will give you even 20 when they are when they are blessed or kubarikiwa. So this one was not doing really bad. It was good because I would make like, if 10 students send me, or even 20, and every one of them gives me 5 shillings, that is, maybe if it's 10 students who send me, maybe they give me 5, because there are some who will send when they don't pay you, but because they are your regular customers, you'll have to go to the canteen for them. So if 10 students send me and they give me 5 bob each, that is 50 shillings. That's a loaf of bread for pets that I didn't struggle for. I mean, I just used my energy to run to the canteen and get you bread. So that is what I did at some point. But then that business was doing good when schools open, maybe during the visiting days. But then huku katikati you had to survive, because people have run out of cash. They no longer have pocket money. They no longer sending you to the canteen as often as they used to do. So business is not really doing well, and I had to get means for me to continue surviving in school. So during my morning preps, guys, but then right now I'll be a doc if I had taken my studies seriously. During the morning preps, my work will be, I had a notebook specifically for my business, for the canteen. Actually, I've written canteen business. So this book, I used to write, so and so has sent me bread. She has given me 50 shillings. 5 shillings is my profit, and her balance is 5 shillings and all that. During the morning preps, I would spend my 1 hour just doing that. So that's the days that I would end up being sent by even 1 student or 2 students. Maybe they don't pay me, but I have to go for them to the canteen because they are my regular customers. So what I'll do during the morning preps, I'll just stand in class and just pretend that I'm going to borrow a textbook from someone at the back, the back benchers, so that if someone was to send me and they have forgotten, I can remind, when by seeing me, they can remember that, hey, sijatuma pet. So I did that business for some time, for the whole of Form 3. So when I got to Form 4, I remember there's this one time when I was in Form 3 closing day. Guys, I had a debt of 800 shillings, and some was meant for fare back home for some students. I remember there's this one student, she was called Mercy. That was part of her fare, I think around 50 shillings or something, and I had to run now. Actually, I had to hide in the dining hall till everyone left school. Then I leave, because I also didn't have fare. I mean, I was walking home, so who are you? So I did that my entire Form 3. Then we got to Form 4. To Form 4, I decided I need to get serious with my study, so I wouldn't do the business more oftenly. Then I think then there is that the way the teachers view you. You're in Form 4, you're a candidate, you're still going to the canteen, you're still running around, you're still cheeky and all that. So I had to tone it down, and I stopped going to the canteen for students for most of the time. Actually, I decided to focus on my studies. So now that I was focusing on my studies, I did not have money for bread. I didn't have bread. And guys, I don't know, but I was ever hungry in high school. Trust me, I was ever, whether nimekunywa chai, whether I've taken ugali, githeri, I was ever hungry. So I had to, survive again. Now, what I used to do, I started stealing. Not really stealing. Started to pick pick stuff from the students who are blessed. So this is what I will do. Maybe during parade time, I will avoid going for parade. So when the bell for parade rings, I'll run. So when the bell rings, some people run to the toilet, to the washrooms, then they go for parade. So the bell will ring, and I would go to the washroom and just lock myself in the washroom till everyone has left, because I wouldn't remain in class. People would realize that Pet is not going for parade and someone lost her bread. So I would run to the washroom, stay there, even if it takes 10 minutes, 20 minutes, till I realize that hey, kila mtu ametoka. So when everyone has left, I would slowly leave the washroom, just check out whether there's someone who can see me. Then I go back to class. So there are those students that they wouldn't lack bread in their locker or juice or just something. So I'd go to one student, get bread. I'll maybe pinch a little bit, go to the next student, pick some juice, put in a cup, drink, go to the other one, pick choku. I wouldn't steal everything for them. So I'll just steal kidogo from every student, just pinch. Or there are those guys, students rather, who would, when they have bought that bread, maybe quarter. So when you buy bread and your desk mates used to give you bread, so when you buy bread, you also need to share with them. So you find that maybe when this person was sharing bread, the other students were, maybe her desk mates were not around. So she has chunad some bread and she put in their locker, kidogo, maybe like 2 or 3 students. So what I'll do, I'll just go opening their lockers. I'm sorry, guys. I'd go opening their lockers and just pick that bread. So by the end of parade, I will be so full. My stomach will be full. I'll be at peace, ready to start my studies. And I did that for some time, for a very, very long time, by the way. I was never caught till what happened. There's this day I decided to go for parade. I don't know why. I went for parade and I was very, very naughty. So I was at the very back of the parade, and I was beating stories, saying stories with some other students. So the director of studies saw me, and he came, picked me up, and gave me my own line. So so the other students had they would stay together. Then I had my own line, so I wouldn't miss for parade during those days. So in a way, he made me stop stealing on Mondays and Fridays, because I had to go for parade. But on Wednesday, we used to go to the dining hall for the parade, so I wouldn't be recognized that I'm not in the assembly. So that is what happened. So I stole actually for the longest time. Even when I was doing my KCSE, God forgive me, I think I wasn't even scared at God is going to judge me and punish me for all my mistakes and give me a bad grade. Because I didn't have, honestly, if I stole from you, I'm so sorry, but I didn't have. This one day I even stole a whole loaf of bread from a student, and I want to mention her name because she'll get so mad. But that is what I did most of the time. But then there's this one day we were going for a trip, for a geography trip. So I'm going for this geography trip. I didn't have any money, not even a 10 shillings. I didn't have any money with me, and I had a friend called Michelle. So Michelle used to give me a juice. She used to give me bread. She used to give me soap and all that. So I had borrowed so much from her till I felt so guilty. This one day I decided so when we were going for this trip, I was thinking, do I ask her to give me some money, or but then I'm like, what if she doesn't give me money? But she was a good girl. So I decided I won't ask her for money. I'm going to steal. So she was my roommate. when we woke up in the morning, I had prepared myself. So when she went to the bathroom, I stole her keys. I picked her keys, and when I picked her keys, I went with them. No, I didn't go with them to the classroom. What I did that day, I delayed in the room when dressing. So when almost everyone had left and the lights had been switched off, I went to Michelle's closet. I knew how her closet was. I knew where bread was, juice. I knew where money was. So when I opened that locker, I went directly to where the money was. So I picked. So I thought, I don't know what I was thinking. So I got my hand into her closet and picked the money. It was in a bundle, and I didn't want to steal a lot of money from. I just wanted to pick 100 shillings only, because I didn't want to make her suffer. So now when I found out that the money was wrapped, I wouldn't know which one is 100 shillings, which one is 50, which one is 1,000. I didn't want to pick 1,000 shillings. So I took the whole bunch. Stupid me, I know, yeah. So I took the whole bunch, and I decided, let me just go. And so the lights were off. I wouldn't, and it was very early in the morning, around 4, so it was still dark. So my idea was, I go to the washroom, then I pick the 100 shillings, then I'll return the rest of the money once after the morning preps. So I went to the washroom. I took the 100 shillings. Actually, the money was around 3,000 shillings. So I took 100 shillings and put it kando. So the rest of the money I was to return to her closet and throw the keys maybe on her bed or just somewhere. So I took the money and I went for my morning preps. So Michelle realized that her keys had been lost. And she had so what she did, actually, these guys, I don't know, they got me really, really good. So after the morning preps, I wouldn't go and just open her locker and return the money, because I mean, it was broad daylight, the lights were on, everyone would see me. Everyone was in the hostel doing cleaning and all that. So I decided I'll just walk with the money. Then once everyone has gone to class again for the morning studies, I'll go to the dorm mistress, get the keys, and then I return Michelle's money. So that day I just kept hovering around the dormitory just to check whether I'll find time to put the money back on her closet. So this is what happened. Now, after Michelle realized that her key was lost, so she wanted to secure her stuff. So they got another padlock and locked the locker. So I have the keys, I have the money, but I can't get in. I can't return the money. So I don't know. I wish I had just even left the money and the keys on her bed. That would have been much easier. I don't know what I was thinking. So we were leaving from school at around 8. So is it 8 or 9? So I didn't have much time. So I decided I'll just go with the money and her keys. I'll return them later in the evening. So we went for the trip. The trip was in Kisumu. Guys, that day was so short for me. You know, when you keep praying, just the day to be long. Masai Sisonge, that was the shortest day in my life ever. I didn't want us to go back to school because I knew what was facing me back in school. So the trip was okay, and I spent the money the 100 shillings that I decided to pick from Michelle. So I spent that money. By the way, I bought some ice cream, some sim, some lollipop. So the remaining balance, I had it in my pockets. So as we went, the trip came to an end, and we had to go back. I had to go back and face the reality and face the consequences of my theft. So I think we got to school around 8 p.m., 8-ish, 9-ish. So you know that time when you're getting to class and everyone is looking at you, zile za pet. So I knew that that everyone was aware that I had stolen Michelle's key. Now what happened? Also that day I prayed. We used to finish preps at around 10 p.m. So I was really wishing time not just time to stand so that 10 p.m. does not, because I'm going to the dormitory, so I'm going to face the consequences and all that. So 10 p.m. came, so we had to go to the dormitory. So I just went to the dormitory. I got to my bed. I have the money, I have the keys. So after everyone had settled in, now the dormitory prefect makes an announcement. Kama unajua uliiba key ya Michelle, tunakujua, tupatie hiyo key. Yes, I didn't even give it a second thought. I just took the key and the money, I gave it to Michelle. So everyone was like, hey, pet, kumbe unakwanga mwizi nini and all that. Hey, now this one has to go to the deputy. Now the dorm mistress used to be my friend, so they knew she wouldn't punish me. So they decided to report me to the deputy, Mrs. Mogodo. So we had this rule in our school: if you steal something and you're found, you go home for a 2-week suspension. Then you will repay triple. So if I had stolen the 3,000 shillings, I was to pay 9,000 shillings, whereby the 6,000 was to go to Michelle, the 3,000 was to be my man, so that I don't steal again. So they reported me to the deputy. The deputy called me. No, during that night, fine, me I just slept. Fine, I've stolen. Kwani nataka nifanya nini? Si nishaiba. I mean, what am I supposed to do? So I got to bed, I slept. Also, watu wananiongelelea kwa cube. Oh, pet, you've been kumbe you're the one who has been stealing. The other day I lost you 20 bob. The other day I lost you what. So they were accusing me, but fine, it has already happened. So I slept. The next day at around 8 a.m. I was called by the deputy. I went to the office. So you were required to write a letter and explain why you stole. Then after writing the letter, you go home for 2 weeks. So guys, you can imagine, I was a candidate. Actually, we were almost, I think it was second term, not third term, yeah. So I was a candidate. Fare from school to my home was around 800 shillings. I didn't have any money with me. So I wrote the letter, explained why I stole and how it happened. So I gave it to the deputy. So the deputy told me, go back to class. So I'm like, Aja, kwani I'm not going home. I was not like I wanted to go home, but I was surprised when she told me to go back to class. And every person actually was expecting me not to come back to class, because once you write that letter, you're given a leave out for 2 weeks. So they saw me coming back and they're like, no, they can't ask you why you're back. but then I went back to class. I started the day. So I was expecting that maybe at around 9 or maybe during the first break, I'll be called and be told to go home. But that was what everyone used to happen to everyone. Surprisingly, the day came to an end. Madam Mudo did not call me to go home. So I was like, kwani what is happening? The next day, at around 10 a.m. I was called back to the office. So I knew this is my time now. I'll be leaving school for the next 2 weeks. When you go for suspension, once you come back, hey, you're given a good beating by the deputy, the teacher on duties, do what, the dorm mistress. So I went to at around 10, I was called. So I went to the deputy's office, and guess what, guys? My dad. So yes, so the deputy, I don't know, I didn't know why maybe she knew my situation and all that, but she decided to call my dad to come to school instead of me going home. So my dad came. So everyone actually expected me to pay 9,000 shillings. But you know what? I paid 300 shillings. Yeah, so Michelle was given her 200 shillings and I was given the 100 shillings. So I was not beaten. Actually, that day, I don't know, my dad just talked to me. The deputy just talked to me. They didn't harass me. I mean, I don't, maybe they understood by explanation of that letter. I was so innocent, but I just explained I wanted to buy ice cream and sim sim during the trip, so they understood me. So it's always good to be what to be honest. Yeah, so that is what happened. I didn't go home. Michelle was given her 200 shillings, and I think after that time I completely stopped stealing. So I decided I'd rather just go hungry or go to the kitchen and ask for some more food if I am not satisfied, if I'm not full. So guys, that has been it for today. I don't know, let me know what you think about this video. Have you ever been in a situation like mine before? Have you ever stolen? Have you ever been caught, and how did it go? Thank you guys, and before I go, subscribe and the bell.